All right. Jermal Charlo with the knockout of Dennis Hogan. Back looking good at the 160-pound division, putting these people on notice. Let's talk about him and the fact that, come on, man, Canelo, give us the fight, man. Just give us the fight. Make it happen. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, I want to say special thank you to the new channel members. Thank you guys for joining, especially the OG Boxing Talk members that are going to be in attendance for our 8 a.m. OG Boxing Talk show this Sunday with myself, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing, Trap House Boxing, Curtis Anderson, and our special guest, Mr. Boxing Today 2. Now, also, thank you so much to the Patreons and all the other members. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let's get into this. All right, Jermal Charlo did what he's supposed to do last night. I put out on Twitter that I thought I was just being real, man. I was trying to be as real as I could for Jermal. Jermal needed a knockout last night, man. Jermal could not go the distance again. He couldn't go the distance in another fight. Like can't go through the distance 3 times in a fight. Okay? Because if you're not knocking these dudes out, if you're not sending somebody into space, right? Just because of the way Jermal Charlo's political situation, they're not going to ever look to fight that guy, man. He's very, very fundamentally sound. He's got a very sharp jab, man. His uppercuts are very, very nice. He's very confident. He's a strong guy, a big 160 pounder, and nobody really want this guy, man. Nobody wanted him. Now, I'm not usually one to talk about like the attendance of fights and all of that stuff, but I looked out there into the Barclays Center, man, and I saw some gaps between some people. Let's put it that way. I saw some gaps between some people in the Barclays Center for that fight. I was at the fight for Jermal Charlo, Carlos Adams. What's his name? Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams, right? A fight that went the distance. So I was thinking to myself, look, man. Oh, and the other thing is he got pulled off of Fox. He was fighting on Fox. Fox basically sent him back down to the D leagues. This way that I see it, and I'm just being honest, I'm a Jermal Charlo fan. Sent him back to Showtime. So he's fighting on Showtime in a slightly emptier room. And this guy, I do believe, has a chance to be the best 160-pound fighter in boxing. And could easily, and everybody knows who he is. It's just there wasn't a lot of excitement about him because, number one, he's not being given the opportunity to fight the best fighters in the division. Canelo Alvarez don't want any part of him. Gennady Golovkin doesn't want any part of him, right? Canelo Alvarez vacated his belt for that fantasy franchise belt just to avoid fighting the guy. The only guy, maybe Demetrius Andrade wants to fight him, but then, Ronnie Shields, who I got a lot of respect for, said something that I didn't too much care for, which is that, why fight Demetrius Andrade? What do you get out of fighting Demetrius Andrade? My thought is you get the WBO belt out of fighting Demetrius Andrade, and you can have both belts. And if you have both belts and beat him, then they have to fight you. But seeing as that's not happening, the only way I think that Jermal Charlo really can get himself and push people into having to fight him is by doing what he did in this fight with Dennis Hogan, which is knock him head over heels, send him head over heels, flying backwards. Head over heels where you fall back, your feet come up, and then your head come back over your heels. And that's what he did. And it's an excellent performance, man, against a guy, Dennis Hogan, that is very, very difficult to get a hold of. Dennis Hogan was moving left. He's moving right. He was throwing shots from unexpected angles. He was just, being unpredictable. Now, this is the same Dennis Hogan who a lot of people believe beat Jaime Munguia, outboxed Jaime Munguia, was landing flying left hooks on Jaime Munguia, and a lot of people believe won the fight against Jaime Munguia. before Dennis Hogan moved up to 160 pounds to fight Jermal Charlo. So this guy was somebody that was awkward. This is somebody that was going to be hard to look good against. Now, this is the second video, though. I want to tell y'all, rubbing in y'all faces. This is the second video I told y'all what was going to happen in the fight. I said, the way I look at this, Brandon Agnew's about to go. Okay. And that's what happened. Jermal Charlo didn't just walk blindly after him, but man, he came behind his jab. His defense was excellent. I mean, he just kept that left hook that Dennis Hogan kept trying to catch him with. Man, Jermal Charlo never had to get out of position to block that shot. It was just boop right there, boop right there, boop right there. Oh, he was just, man, Jermal Charlo looked excellent in that fight, man. Excellent. The inside, the uppercut, that right uppercut that literally knocked that dude off his feet and spun him completely over. Come on, man. How can you not see the power? How can you not like that? But the most important thing to me in that is that this man gets his highlight reel, because we live in the world of the Twitter, the Twitter memes. We have, where there's this impromptu highlights being made of these fighters, and knockouts sell. Despite what, certain people, unless you have somebody that, maybe you have a large British, we wouldn't know if this has ever happened, right? Maybe in case there's a really good opponent, or another champion in the division who has a really large following in the UK, and that following just tries to find a way to diminish you no matter what you do. Even if you get one punch knockouts, and in 2 fights in a row. Is that, yeah? Say you knock out your mandatory, in the first minute, the first 2 minutes of the first round by setting up a right hand, a clean straight right hand, and knocks him out. And then the next fight, you have another fighter, highly ranked fighter. You're in the 6th round, boom, you do the same thing, but somehow people will tell you that you're sloppy and you got lucky. That having that type of effect really could, or that type of scenario really could keep you, when you have highlight reels from people just recognizing that you just might be the best in that division. Jermal Charlo now that might be a good problem to have with Jermal Charlo. Let me put it that way. So Jermal Charlo winds up, after he hits a guy over the top, hits him, knocks over Hogan, does his head over heels thing. Then maybe a couple rounds later, I didn't write down what the round was. Man hits him with a left, I think it was a left hook, nasty left hook, man, that separates him from his senses. He was wobbling around. I was like, man, please, let this go on. You know how usually when somebody gets hurt, I'm feeling sensitive. I feel not sensitive. I feel sympathetic. That's what I'm looking for. I'm feeling sympathetic for him. I didn't feel sympathetic yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, man, just let it go one more time, dog, so we can just see him crumpled over. Because I want that highlight for Jermal Charlo. So now that Jermal Charlo did that, what is next? What's next for Jermal Charlo? What's next for Jermal Charlo? He didn't say he was calling anybody out. He's like, hey, man, when the time is right, the time's happening. Look, man, what the chance for Jermal Charlo to really start getting the big names, I believe, is going to be when that crop 150 pounders, 154 pounders move back up. J-Rock is down there at 154. J-Rock is the one, he's a unified champion at 154 pounds. I think he has the WBA and the IBF at 154 pound belts. Yeah, he has the WBA and the IBF 154 pound belt. For J-Rock to go up there and challenge him for the 160 pound WBC title and get a rematch of that sparking that took place between him and J-Rock. But the fact that he beat J-Rock tells you how good a fighter Jermal Charlo is. Anyway, it was an excellent fight. Congratulations, Jermal Charlo. I know there's not going to be a lot of buzz about it, but I got to put it out there, man, to talk about that man. Hopefully Charlo one day will fight him, but I don't see that happening, man. I mean, Canelo will fight him, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.